Donald John Trump. A name synonymous with wealth, power, and controversy. Few figures in modern history have captivated the world's attention like the 45th President of the United States. His rise to the highest office, defying all expectations, left many bewildered and intrigued. Love him or hate him, one thing is undeniable. Donald Trump is a force to be reckoned with. This is the untold story of Donald Trump. The media has presented us with countless narratives of Donald Trump, often painting him in extremes. He has been lauded as a successful businessman and a champion of the forgotten man. Conversely, he has been vilified as a ruthless opportunist and a demagogue. To truly comprehend Donald Trump, one must venture beyond the simplistic narratives and delve into the complexities of his life and career. We must examine the formative experiences that molded his character and the motivations that drive his actions. In this account, we aim to provide a balanced and insightful examination of Donald Trump. Prepare to journey into the world of Donald Trump, a world of extravagant wealth and a relentless pursuit of power. We will uncover the secrets behind his real estate empire and the controversial tactics that have drawn both praise and condemnation. This is a story of ambition, risk-taking, and an unwavering belief in oneself. We will explore the complexities of his personal life and the moments of vulnerability that lie beneath the veneer of confidence. We will examine the evolution of his political beliefs and the factors that fueled his improbable rise to the presidency. Join us as we pull back the curtain and confront the enigma that is Donald Trump. Donald John Trump was born on June 14, 1946 in Queens, New York. His father, Fred Trump, was a successful real estate developer who had amassed a considerable fortune. Donald, the fourth of 5 children, grew up in the affluent Jamaica Estates neighborhood. Despite the family's affluence, Fred Trump instilled in his children a strong work ethic. Donald was expected to contribute to the family business from a young age, learning the intricacies of real estate development. While Donald enjoyed the benefits of his family's wealth, his privileged upbringing was not without its challenges. Donald's education was a mix of privilege and rebellion. He attended the Q Forest School, a private preparatory school in Queens, where he excelled academically. However, his restless energy often clashed with the school's strict disciplinary code. Recognizing the need for a firmer hand, Fred Trump transferred his son to the New York Military Academy. The military academy's regimented environment provided Donald with the structure and discipline he craved. After graduating from the military academy, Donald enrolled at Fordham University. While Donald's father played a pivotal role in shaping his business acumen, his mother's influence should not be underestimated. Marianne Trump instilled in her son a strong sense of family loyalty and a deep appreciation for spectacle and grandeur. She often took Donald and his siblings to visit lavish estates and attend extravagant social events. Beyond his parents, Donald was also influenced by his maternal uncle John George Trump, an MIT professor and electrical engineer. John Trump's scientific mind and entrepreneurial spirit resonated with Donald. These interactions fostered in him a belief in the transformative power of technology. Fresh out of Wharton, Donald Trump was eager to prove himself in New York City real estate. He joined his father's company, Elizabeth Trump & Son, which focused on middle-class housing developments. Donald had his sights set on something grander, aiming to etch the Trump name onto the Manhattan skyline. His first major solo project was the Commodore Hotel, a fading grand dame of Manhattan's East Side. Donald convinced the city to grant him significant tax abatements and secured a loan to finance the ambitious renovation. The success of the Grand Hyatt project established Donald as a major player in the Manhattan real estate scene. Trump Tower, completed in 1983, became an instant icon of 1980s excess. The building, with its signature pink marble facade and opulent atrium, solidified Donald's status as a real estate mogul. The project showcased Donald's unique approach to real estate development, blending market trends with a flair for the theatrical. Donald's business dealings were characterized by audacity, risk-taking, and a willingness to push boundaries. He was a master negotiator, known for his ability to identify leverage points. Central to Donald's success was his understanding of the power of branding. Donald's foray into the casino industry in Atlantic City in the 1980s proved to be both a financial boon and a source of controversy. He opened 3 lavish casinos, which attracted millions of visitors and generated huge profits. The casinos became synonymous with the Trump brand, further solidifying his image as a purveyor of luxury. However, Donald's casinos also became embroiled in financial difficulties and legal troubles. He was forced to declare bankruptcy on several of his casino holdings, raising questions about his financial acumen. Despite these setbacks, Donald managed to salvage some of his casino holdings and emerged with his personal wealth intact. Donald Trump's interest in politics was not a sudden whim. As early as the 1980s, he had toyed with the idea of running for public office. Throughout the 2000s, Trump became increasingly vocal in his criticism of American politicians. His rhetoric, often blunt and provocative, resonated with a segment of the American public. One of Trump's most prominent forays into the political arena was his relentless promotion of the birther conspiracy theory. This false claim that President Barack Obama was not born in the United States garnered significant attention. The 2016 presidential election cycle presented a unique set of circumstances that would ultimately propel Donald Trump to the White House. The American public, weary of economic stagnation and political gridlock, was hungry for change. Trump, with his outsider status and his simple yet powerful message of "Make America Great Again," tapped into a deep well of anger and frustration. His campaign launch in June 2015 was met with a mix of amusement and disbelief. His inflammatory rhetoric energized a base of supporters who felt ignored by the political establishment. Despite facing a crowded field of Republican primary challengers, Trump quickly emerged as the frontrunner. Central to Trump's success was his ability to tap into the anxieties and grievances of a segment of the American public. He channeled their anger towards immigrants, minorities, and foreign countries, painting them as threats to American jobs and security. His rhetoric, often laced with xenophobia, racism, and misogyny, resonated with voters who felt that their values were under attack. Trump's campaign rallies became legendary for their raucous atmosphere and his incendiary rhetoric. He encouraged his supporters to boo and jeer at protesters, creating an environment of intimidation. His rallies, often compared to professional wrestling matches, became must-see TV, drawing massive crowds. The weeks following Donald Trump's unexpected victory in the 2016 presidential election were a whirlwind of activity and controversy. The Trump Tower lobby transformed into a chaotic nerve center as Trump began assembling his administration. The transition process quickly descended into a scramble for power and influence, setting the stage for the turmoil that would characterize Trump's presidency. One of the most striking aspects of Trump's transition was his disregard for traditional norms and protocols. He delayed appointing key cabinet members, often relying on informal conversations and gut instincts. His disregard for these norms, combined with his penchant for impulsiveness, created an atmosphere of uncertainty within the incoming administration. From the moment he took the oath of office on a crisp January day in 2017, Donald Trump's presidency was a roller coaster ride of controversy, chaos, and constant confrontation. He governed with a disdain for convention, relying on gut instinct over expertise. He used Twitter as his personal bully pulpit, launching tirades against his opponents and making policy pronouncements. This often caught his own staff off guard. He relied on a small circle of trusted advisors, often family members or longtime business associates. He preferred informal conversations to lengthy policy briefings, often making snap decisions based on incomplete information. This approach appealed to those who craved decisive leadership, but often led to confusion and a sense of perpetual crisis. Trump's presidency was marked by a constant churn of staff, as aides and cabinet members who clashed with his style were dismissed. As Trump's presidency progressed, investigations into his campaign's ties to Russia cast a long shadow over his presidency. The appointment of Robert Mueller as special counsel sent shockwaves through Washington, D.C., and raised the specter of impeachment. Trump, enraged by the investigation, denounced it as a witch hunt and a hoax, lashing out at Mueller and the Justice Department. The Mueller investigation lasted nearly 2 years, revealing contacts between Trump campaign officials and Russians, but no criminal conspiracy. It did uncover obstruction of justice by Trump, who tried to interfere with the investigation. The report's findings polarized the nation and deepened the partisan divide. After his presidency, Donald Trump retreated to Mar-a-Lago in Palm Beach, Florida, a sanctuary far from Washington, D.C. The complex, with its manicured lawns and glittering chandeliers, attracted loyal supporters and Republican officials. Despite his social media ban, Trump remained influential in politics. He issued statements from his office of the 45th president, housed within Mar-a-Lago, offering commentary on current events and promoting his accomplishments. Donald Trump's influence on the Republican Party was profound and polarizing. The party embraced his populist nationalism, protectionist trade policies, and skepticism towards traditional alliances. Many echoed his false claims of election fraud and voted against certifying the 2020 results. The RNC censured Liz Cheney and Adam Kinzinger for voting to impeach Trump. This highlighted the party's loyalty to Trump and his followers. Despite his legal troubles and his banishment from social media, Donald Trump remained a ubiquitous presence in American life. His name and image continued to adorn merchandise sold at rallies and online. His pronouncements were amplified by a loyal network of right-wing media outlets, and his influence could be felt in the policies and rhetoric of Republican lawmakers across the country. Trump's enduring presence in American politics was a testament to his ability to tap into a deep well of anger, resentment, and cultural anxiety among a segment of the electorate. His supporters, many of whom felt left behind by economic change, alienated by cultural shifts, and ignored by the political establishment, saw in Trump a champion for their grievances and a voice for their frustrations. They remained loyal to him, even in the face of overwhelming evidence of his misconduct and his disregard for democratic norms. Donald Trump, a man who has built his persona on an image of unwavering confidence and unflinching ambition, might seem an unlikely candidate for vulnerability. Yet, behind the carefully constructed facade of wealth, power, and bravado, glimpses of a more complex and nuanced individual emerge, revealing a man shaped by both privilege and insecurity, ambition and loss. Those who have known Trump personally often speak of a softer side, a man capable of warmth, generosity, and even self-deprecating humor, traits rarely glimpsed through the lens of media scrutiny. They describe a man who, despite his often gruff exterior, can be deeply loyal to those he trusts, and surprisingly sentimental about his family and his roots. These glimpses into Trump's private life paint a picture that contrasts sharply with the public persona he has cultivated over decades in the public eye. Donald Trump's life has been a magnet for speculation and rumor. His every move has been scrutinized and often exaggerated by the media. Separating fact from fiction is essential to understanding the man behind the myth. One myth is that Trump is a self-made billionaire. The reality is more nuanced. Trump inherited substantial wealth and opportunities from his father, Fred Trump. His success is not solely his own making. Donald Trump's presidency, a turbulent and often chaotic chapter in American history, has left an indelible mark on the nation's political landscape and its standing in the world. His unconventional leadership style, his disdain for traditional norms and institutions, and his relentless pursuit of his own interests, regardless of the consequences, have profoundly altered the way Americans view their government and their place in the world. One of the most significant aspects of Trump's legacy is the deep polarization he has wrought on American society. His divisive rhetoric, his willingness to exploit racial and cultural divisions for political gain, and his attacks on the media and other institutions deemed critical of his administration have exacerbated existing social fractures and created an atmosphere of mistrust and animosity that will take years, if not decades, to heal. Trump's presidency has also had a profound impact on America's global standing. As America moves forward from the Trump era, the question of his enduring legacy looms large. Will his presidency be remembered as an aberration, a tumultuous detour from the norms of American democracy, or will it prove to be a harbinger of a new era in American politics, one characterized by populism, nationalism, and a disdain for democratic institutions? The future of the Republican Party, once the party of Lincoln and Reagan, hangs in the balance. Will it remain the party of Trump, embracing his brand of populism and grievance politics? Or will it seek to reclaim its traditional conservative roots and appeal to a broader electorate? The outcome of this internal struggle will have profound implications for the future of American politics and the country's ability to address the pressing challenges it faces.